Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this Friday, the 8th of October, 2021. Thank you for tuning in. Boy, gosh, I hope you guys got your silver. Hope you guys got your gold, too. Well, I'm going to tell you what. Listen, this is serious business now at this point. Uh, you guys know there's an energy crisis going on. Natural gas, propane, diesel fuel, doesn't matter what kind of energy you use, the price is exploding on some of these things. And I'm going to tell you, it's unlike anything we've ever seen before. One of the most energy intensive businesses out there. It reflects in the bottom line of the cost of manufacturing is mining. Hasn't really been talked about yet too much. But this energy crisis is going to impact the mining industry big time as it expands. I don't see this energy crisis going away. In fact, it's getting worse. It's going to affect the bottom line of cost of manufacturing of gold, silver, and all of your metals actually, copper, aluminum, everything, because mining is. They have to run conveyor belts, and they have to run big diesel machines and hydraulic pumps, and they have to run They use LP gas, and they use propane, and they use diesel fuel, and they use regular gasoline, and they use all kinds of different kinds of energy in order to accomplish their mining tasks. And I know it hasn't really translated into the price of gold and silver yet. But, either they let it transfer into the spot price, okay? Or they go ahead and keep manipulating the spot price down, and these miners are very soon, because this energy costs are going up very, very quickly, these miners are very, very soon not going to have, if they keep the spot price down, they're not going to have enough there of a profit margin. This is going to very quickly, because the energy prices are going up so fast on a daily basis, it's very quickly going to bring the cost of production up past the spot price. You can't have that. You just can't be selling silver at the spot price. It's lower than the cost of production. The whole market's going to break unless they let her loose. And if they let her loose, she's going to explode to the upside. This whole system that we got has problems that are entering in that are unresolvable, that are just like huge, huge. And the system is starting to, it's like an engine, and the pistons are starting to fly out of the system right now. And this is especially big problem with gold, silver, and not cryptos. I always say gold, sorry. With gold and silver and precious metals, and all of the metals, copper, lead, zinc, tin, aluminum, it doesn't matter. This is a huge problem because, especially with gold and silver, it reflects upon the dollar. What's the dollar worth? Well, how much gold can you buy with it? It proves the worth of the dollar. And, it's already on shaky grounds right now. Very, very shaky grounds. People's confidence in the dollar, and the dollar's actually just a huge confidence game. They're witnessing inflation in real time, and they're starting to lose their confidence in the purchasing power of the dollar. And this is the trigger. This is one of the biggest triggers for hyperinflation. Let's get in there and take a look at the markets. Let's open up the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. We're going to take a look at the silver price today. It's 23.12. It's shot up 54 cents this morning so far, but it's still, to reflect what's going on in the system with gold and silver, silver price right now should be probably to be truly reflecting what's going on and be a, just like the bond market is way out of skew right now. The U.S. 10-year treasury bond right now, the yield should be 15%. 10 times higher than it is. And silver should probably be around 7 or 8 times what it is in price right now to be anyway reasonable. Well, we're catching a bid this morning, but it might even be a day late and a dollar short, because considering how the price of energy is going up, and this is such an energy demanding industry, the mining industry. This might be the start of something that could take down the world's financial system. Silver is the Achilles heel of the whole world's financial system. They need it in so many different products, so many different companies. I mean, Apple, iPhones. If they can't get any silver, and they got zero silver, how are they going to produce their Apple iPhones? There's a little bit of silver in every iPhone. What about the solar industry? Now that we've got this big energy crunch going on, aren't they going to want more solar panels? There's silver in every single solar panel that runs out the conveyor line, when they're manufacturing them. This is an Achilles heel of the world's financial system, not only in the respects of if silver goes up, gold goes up too. And if gold goes up, it says the dollar's worth nothing if gold goes up too high, too fast. They're losing control. They've tried modern monetary theory. They've tried this manipulation of the markets to manipulate all the markets. And I knew something was going to break with it, and it's starting to break now. The whole system's starting to break. They're trying to cover all the bases right now. They got all these plates spinning in the air, and they're just right now they're starting to lose it. It's starting to spin out of control. And I think they're going to be able to maintain resemblance and control for a few more months. I think 2022 is going to be just a total wipeout, guys. It's kind of like, you ever seen a car that's losing control on the ice or whatever, and they're going a little bit too fast, which happened to me years ago. I had a blue van, and 1 year I was driving down through, I think I was in Virginia or someplace like that, and there was this snowstorm, and I was trying to make time. And the speedometer broke on the van. And I remember I was going, I wasn't really aware of it. My speed was creeping up a little bit faster and a little bit faster and a little bit faster, And I didn't realize how that packed snow on the highway. I didn't realize that there was freezing rain coming down on top of it, and I was keeping the van nice and steady, but when she went into that slide, I'm going to tell you, it did full 360 degrees about 3 times, or 4 times. If I hadn't had my seatbelt on, I would have been flung out of the seat. But I remember looking at the people coming at me in the other direction, and then I'd be back around facing the road again, and I'd be looking at them again. It's just going around in circles. And she slowly slid right off the road and slid down into the ditch, but not real deep into the ditch, and come to a stop. First time I've ever slid on the ice, I stopped there I was there for about maybe, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes to gain my composure and wait until my chance to get back up on the freeway again, Nothing happened. I got away with it. It's the only time I've ever slid on the ice. I have slid on the rain before, too. I used to live down in Florida. I'm going to tell you, down there, if they haven't had rain for a long time, the highways get greasy, and when they get a first rain, it gets as slippery as ice. And I slid down there, too, once. My car slid. Hydroplaned on the rain, on a heavy rain. It's not a good feeling when your tires have lost traction and you're sliding. But that's the way with this system right now. Everything's fine. Fed's in charge and everything, and they're trying to manipulate all these markets. But they're going a little bit too fast and the road's a little bit too slick. And when it comes, it's going to come quick, guys. Be ready for it. I really think that it's going to come in the early part of 2022. We're going to get this big slide and it's going to be crazy. It's really going to be mayhem out there in the markets when they lose control over all these markets. And we're seeing the first hints of it here. Right here, we're seeing the first hints of what's happening, what's coming is with this energy crunch. Stay tuned. It's going to be very interesting. But right now, we're looking at a silver price of $23.11. It's up 53 cents today so far. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is up 22 bucks at 17.77 today so far. Now we're going to take a look at cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies have been doing good. We've been seeing bullish patterns on the charts. And we're looking at a price of 20, it's 2 trillion 310 billion. That's the whole industry. That's Bitcoin, including all the other coins. Bitcoin is over $1 trillion all by itself. It's 1 trillion and 33 billion. And we're looking at a Bitcoin price of $54,709. Who would have thunk it? Back when Bitcoins were a nickel. Back, I think, around 2009. They weren't even worth a nickel, actually. There was some computer out there someplace mining them, and nobody even knew about them. There's no real network. I think it was just one computer was the whole network, or maybe two computers or something, you know. And it mined 1 million of them. Suckers. Mined 1 million of those little suckers. But the thing about it is it was like whoever was mining them knew what they were going to be worth in the future. Oh boy, I'll tell you. Imagine what those 1 million Bitcoins are worth now. And okay, I want to say one other thing is, whoever mined those 1 million Bitcoins off, they say it was a Satoshi, mined 1 million off. What I want to know is back when Bitcoins weren't even worth a penny. Okay, so they mined off 1 million, Bitcoins were released to the people, you know. People did start mining them, and it was like a joke, you know. You're mining something that was worth almost nothing. But it was just maybe for fun. Some people were mining them, I don't know, with their can you imagine mining them with just your CPU on your computer? And not a good computer, because back then the computers, most of them were single core processors. So you're mining these things with a single core processor, you know, and you're getting like a Bitcoin every 2 minutes, a whole Bitcoin every 2 minutes. That's what it was like. And people were like buying pizzas with them. 7,000 Bitcoins for a pizza, sort of a thing. They were like worth nothing. Who would have thunk it, you know? But, okay, the Satoshi that mined 1 million, well, maybe he knew more about what it was going to be than the people who were just, back then, just playing with it, you know? Because it was worth nothing, you know? It was like, anyway. Maybe he got a whole bunch of more that the people mined, you know, so that 1 million might be more than 1 million, because he might have, the Satoshi, he might have went out and bought some for like a nickel a piece. You know, it wouldn't have cost much. Maybe he spent $1,000 or something. He would have bought a lot. Anyway, I'm just theorizing about all this. Just fun to theorize, you know, but there's some big wallets sitting out there right now that's holding a lot of Bitcoin. There are some big wallets out there on the sidelines. And Bitcoin is very limited, there's only going to ever be 21 million of them. You can't have any more. And the actual fact is right now there's only 18 million in the circulating supply. Very interesting thing. There's never been anything like Bitcoin before. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones today. 34,559. And it's down 79 points on the day so far. Where do you want to put your money? I'd say right now you better be careful about the Dow. You know, where do you want to put your money? You know, right now, I would say the best place to put your money if you want. You know, there's a lot of gambling, and cryptocurrencies are gamble. So I'm not saying cryptocurrencies are bad, but they're a gamble because they can go up and down so fast. Think about silver right now. Think about the fact that mining production cost is going to shoot through the roof now with the cost of energy going up. And what'll happen if they keep the spot price down below the cost of mining production? If mining production cost shoots above the spot price, well, they just ain't going to have any silver for sale. So they'll have to make their Apple iPhones with something else. What are they going to make them with? Gold? Maybe they'll have to buy gold to keep the assembly line going on the Apple iPhone. Well, they could just charge it off to the customer, you know, and say, okay, instead of $1,000 for the iPhone, now you're going to pay $2,000. But by the way, it's got gold in it. Golden series iPhones. I don't know what they'll do, but they'll have to figure something out, and fast. Okay, now let's take a look now at crude oil. Crude oil 79.15. It's up $1.09. No, it's up 1%. $1.09, 1.09%. It's up 85 cents on the day. It's almost right across the $80 boundary. This energy shortage is not going away. One of the things is you're going to find that crude oil will be used more even to make up for some of the losses in these other forms of energy. Let's take a look now at our move index at 60.91, and it's been slowly rising, but very, very slowly. Let's take a look at bonds and rates, and we got a mixed bag today, and there's not much movement today, you know. The 10-year is rising a little bit, but it's only 1/100th of a basis point. It's or 1/10 of a basis point. It's at 1.57. And we're looking at the U.S. 30-year at 2.13, and it's risen just a half a basis point. Now let's take a look at the DXY, the dollar index. It's at 94 and dropping today. We got a falling dollar index today. I'll tell you, guys. You guys have been stacking gold and silver for a long time, some of you. And you've been having this it's been depressing. It's been long, it's been arduous, and it's been depressing. I think your days of waiting are coming to a very rapid halt with this energy shortage, because the mining industry is so energy dependent. Every inch of it, you know, they don't use a pick and shovel like they used to back in the 1800s. Now they use conveyor belts and diesel engines, and they use propane, and they use electricity and all the different forms of energy. But it takes a lot of energy when you got a big rock that's got silver in it, and you've quite literally got to crush that rock into powder and then move it. Move it from across conveyor belts and from one crusher to the next crusher, and finish it up in big pools where you add different chemicals and stuff. And what about the cost of production of those chemicals and stuff that they use to separate the silver from the rock? They're going to go way up, because they are energy intensive to get them too. All the way down the assembly line until it becomes a finished coin, energy is used. And if the overall cost of energy goes up by just a mere 20%, say goodbye to any profits. You know, the miners were doing okay there. They had a profit margin there. And they were doing fine with that profit margin, you know, on silver and gold, you know. But now, all of a sudden, this energy thing is just going to eat up that profit margin and fast. So maybe these 4 big banks that control the silver price will continue to control the silver price and gold price. But all of a sudden, then the miners are not going to have any profit margin anymore. What's going to happen is going to happen quick now, because these energy costs are shooting up very fast. So the bottom line for miners is gonna come in very quick now. And maybe this is why. Take a look at this. The silver price is shooting up and gold price is shooting up today. Maybe this is exactly the reason why. Look at it, 53 cents up today. Maybe it's trying to catch up of something that's actually moving ahead of it faster than it's even trying to catch up. And if this all breaks free, how's that going to reflect on the dollar? And how's it going to reflect on the dollar? The fact that all of these different items are all in short supply now. Everything you buy. You're going to see this in the upcoming weeks. You're going to go to the store. You need a new pair of shoes. I had to buy a 13 size shoe. And I don't take a 13 size shoe. But I had to buy a 13 size shoe because that's the only shoe they had. They had little 7s. I don't take a 7. That won't fit my foot. I'm not a child. I take a size a large 11 is what I take, you know, like a big 11 or a small 12. That's what I take. And I had to buy size 13 shoes. They're like clown shoes on me. But that's all they had. They had like 4 pairs of 13s and they had these 7s. Nothing in between. And so we're going to see this in everything. And so if everything's in short supply, you're going to see prices go up. That's just supply and demand functioning. You're going to see prices go up. And when you see prices go up, you know, that's inflation. And then people say, well, my dollar, I better buy it now. This is the way it was in Germany, okay? They used to work, you know, and people would be working, and they'd have somebody from home come to where they working because they'd pay them like at noon or whatever, you know, and they wouldn't wait until they got home at 5 o'clock because that money would be spoiled. Money would spoil like fresh fruit in the sunshine. And you guys aren't used to that phenomenon, but the money can be losing value so fast. You got to spend it as soon as you get it. I mean, you can't wait 4 hours. You wait 4 hours, it's only going to be worth half as much as it was. And so they used to have people be working, and they get paid. They give them the cash in German money. You know, this is during the Weimar Republic. They pay them in German marks, and they would have that person come from home and collect the money and go out and buy things with it. Because if they waited until work time ended to go out and buy the things themselves, they wouldn't get half as much stuff. We could have that happen to the US dollar. And when you got stuff like that going on, how can you put a price on gold and silver? Because gold and silver will be going in the opposite direction. Gold, as the currency is losing value like that, hourly, your price of your gold and silver is going up hourly and what it's worth in the currency. And so who's going to want to sell their gold and silver if tomorrow it's worth twice as much as it's worth today? And of course there's going to be an awful lot of people wanting to buy it because they're holding the currency. The currency becomes a hot potato. It doesn't function. It actually still does function. It still buys things, but in a way it doesn't function. And this brings tremendous, tremendous problems for the people out there. Needless to say, I'd hate to be working in a business during a hyperinflation. How do you mark everything? Well, they got computers now. They'll have to set their computers to mark it up for them, like mark the product's prices up. Maybe they'll set the computers on 10% per hour, you know. So if you got a can of beans, right now it's worth $5, and an hour from now it'll be worth $5.50 or whatever, you know. Maybe they'll have to do it that way, and the computer will just take care of all of that math. But back during the German Weimar hyperinflation, they used to have to go around through the store and put stickers on to the price, you know, and then an hour later they have to go around and put a whole new set of stickers on. Crazy world we live in, but this is the way it is. Thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the very next episode. Bye-bye.